Eufy is more than just a smart security camera company. They do all things security. Hello, I'm Wanderer001, and this is my review of the Eufy Smart Safe S10. This is the older version of their Smart Safe. Their newer one has really one feature that differentiates it from this one, and for the price point, you're actually saving a bit when you get this. Now, this is not Eufy's first smart safe or smart box. Up there in the corner, I have a review of my actual delivery box system that Eufy makes, so you know that the Smart Safe itself has a lot of brains and thought behind it, not just throwing something together. Let's start off by talking about the actual build quality and material that this safe is made of. Eufy has made this safe out of 14 gauge steel and has made it a small enough and light enough footprint that you can move it around as necessary. The outer dimensions here are 11.4 inches by 9.45 inches with a width of 3.15, and it weighs 7 pounds. In comparison, you might have something like this, which is small enough to travel with you, but you want something a little more secure than that. So we can see a lot that's going on here. Let's take a quick walk around the Eufy device. We'll come back to the top, but in the front, we have a little plug here, which hides one of the ways that we can actually access this, which is with a key. I'll show you that a little later. If we come around to the side here, we've got a little LED status light and a USB-C charging port. That's because this particular smart safe is smart, which means it has to be battery powered. Now, this has an internal non-removable lithium-ion battery and has roughly 180 days worth of usage based on Eufy. Coming to the back, here we see kind of our hinges and everything are inside, so we can't access them. Over here on the other side, there's nothing. If we flip our smart safe around, we can see that there are 4 rubberized footies. There is a QR code that you will need for setup. And then we have these little holes right here. These are for our mounting screws. Now, the entirety of the smart safe is kind of this matte black, rough texture finish, which I kind of like in the fact that, well, it gives you a texture feel to it, but it also doesn't show fingerprints anywhere on the device. Now, if we come in, we can start talking about the top of the safe. This is a California DOJ compliant device with all of the hinges and so forth inside past the lip here. There are several different ways that we can access this safe. First being, there is a fingerprint scanner right here on the front. If I touch it, you can see it lights up, and if it doesn't recognize the fingerprint, it shows red. We also have the ability to type in a code. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the default code for this. You should change that. The other way, which I showed you, is by utilizing the inverted struck key on the front of this. And then the last is actually the application itself. But because it's a smart safe, that means there's a setup process. So how easy is it to set up this safe? Well, let's take a look. This will be setup of the Eufy Smart Safe. First things first, you're going to want to make sure you have the Eufy app pre-installed and have your account set up. You come to the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner, then scroll down to the Eufy Smart Safe. From there, you will select what home you wish to add it to, and then select next. You're going to want to make sure that you're on 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, and then you're going to attempt to connect to Wi-Fi. Now, what I did was I pressed a sync button inside there. After you select your connect to Wi-Fi, it's going to ask for permissions to access your camera to scan a code on the bottom of the Eufy safe in order to add it, after which we will have to press the sync button inside here, which will hear a beep, which you heard me do prematurely, and we have this flashing blue light. We're going to select next. We have to enable Bluetooth. All right, so you'll have to enable discover nearby devices in order for that to work if you're on Android. And we have enabled it. We have hit the sync button, and now it's going to sync up. Directions could use a little work. Now it wants to know what connection to go to for Wi-Fi, and this is going to be only a 2.4 gigahertz connection, so keep that in mind. You will not be using this with 5 gigahertz. So select your network, put in your password, and then that information will be passed to the Smart Safe. Now we get to name it, and once we have selected our name, we select next, and we have to put in a 4 to 6 digit PIN. Once we do that, it brings us to the fingerprint. So we're going to do enrollment, name your fingerprint. So I am going to say that I'm the owner of this fingerprint, and then we scan ourselves 8 different times. After you get that situated, you have power management mode. So you have high performance and then power saver. So this one will keep it constantly connected to Wi-Fi. This one will put it into power saver mode. So I'm going to leave it constantly connected to Wi-Fi for now. There is an update to the firmware, so we will select update. and it can take up to 5 minutes for this to work. Once the firmware is done, you get this message. I did not get to record it, but the lights across the keypad did light up as it was finishing and has been successfully added. We're going to select done, and here we go. It's at the top. It's currently letting me know that it is unlocked. So that was setup of the Eufy Smart Safe. Coming back to our Smart Safe, we know that there's a keypad and a fingerprint scanner. The question is, how many codes can this accept? It only has one code for this and one code for the application. The fingerprint scanner, you can have up to 10 fingerprints, including one that we'll talk about in the application, which is called a safety print. The safe itself utilizes both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth to talk to your device. Wi-Fi, you'll get those push notifications if you're not home. Bluetooth, if your network happens to go down and you still need to access the safe, you can do that locally from your smartphone over that Bluetooth connection. But now that we've talked about the exterior, you want to see the inside. So let's take a look. As you can see, it fits one banana and candy bar perfectly well. In all seriousness, I will have a link in the corner and in the description area below that will show this actually filled with what it is intended to actually have in it. I just wanted to keep those out of this video so I could help keep this monetized and really searchable. So again, link up there, down in the description, unlisted video, no monetization, actual sizes in there. The interior dimensions are 9.96 by 6.37 by 2.95. There is felt lining around the sides as well as on our lid here. We can see that there are 2 anchor points for the closing mechanism right here. And then right here, we kind of see that the hinges to partially be DOJ compliant, they have fuzz on them too, but they're on the interior, but they do bump into some of the usable space right here. There is a crepe foam right here so that you can put your whatever on there and keep it nice and comfortable. If we open this up, this is also felt lined, which is kind of nice. So this actually has a little plush to it. So if you want to save a little space, you could take the egg crate out and just utilize this. You can see right here, there are our 2 mounting peripherals right there. And we're just gonna put that foam back into place and swing around our safe. Right here, this is an LED light, which will shine into there. You have 3 different levels of brightness. And then here is our sync button, which you saw during the setup process. Now, you may have noticed earlier when I had the lid open for a while, that there was a sound that was going off. That's actually the lid left open sound. So it's a reminder saying, hey, you need to shut this lid. You can turn that on and off from the application and change its varying length. There also is a different type of notification or alarm that you can have for this, which is known as the tamper alarm. If you have it set to move, well, if somebody tries to move this, it will set it off. They really need to move it in order for it to go off. Let me demonstrate what that looks like here. It's going off. Because this is a smart safe, you can make changes to this as you saw. However, all of that is done through the application. So let's take a look at the Eufy app for the Eufy Smart Safe. This is the application for the Eufy Smart Safe. Right here, this is the landing page that we see when we first log in. You see an image of your safe. You see the name of your safe. And for me, it shows that it is locked. Down here at the bottom, we have some options that are at a quick launch area. We have fingerprint, which every time you do something, you'll have to verify by putting in your PIN code. From this screen here, we can add fingerprints. So right now I have 1 fingerprint for my main and then my testing fingerprint, but I can add another one by simply giving it a name and then going over to the Smart Safe and touching that new finger and or having another person put their fingerprint in. Here we have SOS mode. This is a paid service. So right here, it says how it works. If I select activate now, it lets me know all the things that it can do. And here is the fee for that. And again, this is not necessary to have, but what this will allow you to do is if you have a fingerprint, and in my case, I registered it as Wander002, give it a name, you can select a different finger to use to open the box to use as your panic fingerprint, which would then alert the authority. Here we have my events log, letting you know, hey, here's all the things that has happened. Wrong try, was open via the app, unlocked, locked, person opened it. Again, that ends up all in the events log area. So if you have other Eufy products, it kind of gets mixed in with things. Selecting back would make you leave the app. So you actually have to come back all the way around, tap on the icon to get back into our Smart Safe. Here we have remote, which if set up will allow me to remotely open my smart box by selecting drag and down. And just under my table here, my smart box has been unlocked. And there I got a notification letting me know. And it says right there that it is now open. This is only if you have it set up to do so. And to do a lot of the extras that we're gonna be talking about, that's done up through our settings. Selecting settings right here shows us all the settings for our smart box. Right here we have the name of it, we have our battery percentage, as well as Wi-Fi connectivity, and we have a little image of our box right there. Starting off, we have wrong try protection. Currently that is on. What this will do is lock out the box for a specific amount of time after a specific amount of attempts. Right now, by default, it is set to 5 and then locked down for 1 minute. You can set it up to 10 tries and up to locking out for 5 minutes. So that's if the wrong fingerprint is scanned or the incorrect password is put in on the machine itself. We have left open alarm, meaning if the box is left open, an alarm will sound after 30, 60, and all the way up to 120 seconds. Here we have dual unlock. So enabling this will require you to do 2 actions to unlock the box. Fingerprint, then a pin, and each will flash around what you need to do next. So if you scan your fingerprint, the numbers will light up. If you type in your numbers, the fingerprint scanner will light up. I'm going to keep that off for now. Scramble pin, if I turn this on, it will actually allow you to go bup, 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 and throw in a bunch of random characters before doing your actual pin in case somebody might be around and watching. Coming down, we have pin. This is if you want to change the pin for the box. I'm not going to do that. Power management. Here we have high performance mode, which keeps it on Wi-Fi all the time. And we have power saver mode, which will extend the battery life up to 12 months. Selecting this option will prevent notifications from getting pushed over Wi-Fi to you in a timely fashion and can only be used over Bluetooth. This will allow you to save a little power. You're not going to get a lot of those notifications that you would get and why you primarily got a smart security box. 4, remote unlock. Have to put in your password to get into, but we can toggle on remote unlock and then requiring the master pin in order to do that from the application. Interior brightness, this is the interior brightness, and then duration. So how bright do you want that single LED to be inside? Totally off, low, medium, and high, and then how long? Up to 1 minute in length. Volume, how loud do you want the prompts to be when you're typing? And then how loud do you want the alarm to be, whether you left it on or if there was a tamper incident. Tamper alarm. Selecting this, we have off, tamper alarm. Tamper is if somebody tries to open the box, not necessarily using your codes. Move alarm is if the box is moved at all. And then it can be turned off from the application itself. Wi-Fi connectivity, just like it sounds. I'm currently connected to my IoT network. We have tutorials, strongly recommend doing, only because the actual setup of this was a little cumbersome compared to other Eufy products that I've had. Share your thoughts. Coming down to general, selecting that, we have the ability to change our name of our device. We have the ability to change what kind of notifications that we would like to get. Do we want to get it when it's unlocked, unlocked by pin, unlocked by finger, unlocked by app, dual unlock, device unlock, wrong try protection, jammed, and then notifications for battery low, tampered, left open, SOS activated, SOS failed, non-protection plan. These basic notifications, you cannot toggle them on or off. They have to stay on. So you do have the ability to change these, but you can't change the other one. And then down here, we have about our device. This is going to show you everything from the firmware to the serial number of your device. And then last but not least, if we come down here, we have the ability to remove this device. And if I select back one more time, that brings us back to the home screen of our Eufy Smart Safe. And that's everything that you can do for the Eufy Smart Safe using the Eufy application. It's that application that lets you do a lot of different things with this than a standard safe. Some of the other things to consider with a safe in general. Well, the Eufy safe here is not fire or water resistant in any way, shape, or form. Just know that it is to keep hands off of things that you might have in here. So if you have important documents, just know, fire flood, you're going to be out of luck. This also will not block RFID readers. It's not designed to do that. Just, again, a data point for you. You did notice that there were 2 different power levels in the application for this, and if you want to have those instant notifications, you're going to have to keep it on the power hungry mode. However, if you turn it down to the lesser, it will take about 10 to 15 seconds before a notification is sent to you, as long as you have Wi-Fi. If not, you'll have to be within Bluetooth proximity for those notifications, which is not as useful, but again, data point. With something like this, yes, there are going to be some downfalls or not good points of it. First being, in the application, you saw I set up a new primary code. That is also the code for this. Some other smart safes that I've tested, there is a separate code to access the app and to access the safe itself. I kind of like that. It adds an extra layer of security, in my opinion. The lid itself feels really thin and cheap, and it feels loose and shaky. I don't really like that. The mounting, which I didn't bother showing you because here it is. It's 2 small screws and wall anchors. This is not a mounting option. It is not substantial enough in any way, shape, or form to keep this in place if somebody wants to really move it. Keep it from sliding around, depending on where you have this, but it's not going to prevent somebody from walking off who really wants. That's why I didn't even show you the mounting options before. The fingerprint scanner, which I like the fact that the buttons light up and the fingerprint scanner itself also lights up. And then if you do too many of them, it will lock you out. Fingerprint scanner, when it works, is quick, but it is very finicky, in my opinion, not reliable enough to utilize. You saw I kept touching that. These two are registered to it. I really wanted this to be better. And again, I've tried other smart safes where the fingerprint scanner works a heck of a lot better than this. That's not to say that this is a bad smart safe. I just am giving you data points because I want you to be aware of what you're getting. If you're getting this for the fingerprint scanner, I don't think it's great. PIN code, awesome. Key, perfectly fine. The fact that this is connected to Wi-Fi and can send you smart signals and allow you to unlock the safe if needed remotely. Again, not recommended, but it's up to you to do your due diligence into what you're doing with this. But the fact that you get those notifications, or if somebody tampers with this, those types of notifications as well, makes this a good buy, in my opinion, even with the issues with the fingerprint scanner. Now, it could just be this particular one. I paid for this out of pocket. It's not a review model. Maybe I got a bad batch. Who knows? If you are in the market for a smart safe from a company that is very good with smart products and security products, I strongly recommend checking out the Eufy Smart Safe S10. With that being said, I have been Wanderer 001. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the area below. And as always, thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, consider giving it a like, as that will help other people find the video as well. If you like what I'm doing here, you can always help fuel the next review by buying me a coffee, link in the description below. Last but not least, if you want to be notified when I upload a new video, you know what to do.